Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. ViaQuest Home Care provides a wide range of services to individuals. Regional Director Mike Belusco will talk more about ViaQuest and how to access its services. Later on, we will hear from Karamu's Artistic Director Terrence Spivey and the Musical Director at Karamu, Sherilyn Fairby. They're here to talk about the production called God's Trombones. And later in the broadcast, still, Ingrid Angel of Westside Ecumenical Ministry will talk about the annual fundraiser for El Barrio. Good morning again. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. And so we begin. Beginning with Mike Belusco, Regional Director of ViaQuest Home Care. Hey, Mike.
Hi, nice to see you.
Good to see you too, my friend. How are things going?
Wonderful. Things are going very well.
Tell me, what is ViaQuest Home Health Care?
Well, ViaQuest is a pretty large organization that offers several service lines to various individual populations of the community. Primarily, the focus of ViaQuest, the parent company, is providing services and access to services to individuals with developmental disabilities.
Are we seeing more and more need for this kind of thing, home health care services?
We most definitely are. We provide services to a wide range of age groups. One of our main goals, one of our focus is to educate the community, educate the public about the services that are available to them. And obviously our goal is to keep people at home as long as possible, to keep them as independent as possible, and to really help them reach their highest level of functioning so that they can remain at home and independent.
Give me an idea of the kinds of home health care services that you can provide and that are needed here.
Well, there are so many, but just to give you an example, if someone is a diabetic and needs teaching on how to manage their diabetes or how to take their insulin, if someone has had a knee replacement or any kind of surgery, we have a whole range of professionals that can come into the home and help the individuals to recover as quickly as possible. We provide therapies in the home. We provide nursing in the home. The goal is really to help the individual to reach their highest level of functioning.
And many people, of course, want to do this at home as much as possible.
Most definitely.
That's a key component on everything we're talking about, of course.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, we have seen, and I mean, we really, it doesn't really take paper or a manual to tell us this, but people obviously recover better when they're in their own home. I mean, you're in a comfortable environment. You are around things that you recognize. It's your home. So, I mean, obviously, receiving therapy services, receiving nursing services in your home, it really helps people to recover quicker and better.
How big of an area do you serve here in Northeast Ohio?
We cover the entire Northeast part of the state of Ohio, from Cleveland all the way down to Canton and then north and south.
So just about anybody who is viewing this signal right now from Channel 5.
Almost definitely.
This is your area.
Definitely.
This is your area of work. Yeah.
Definitely. And if they call us, we can give them information on the services that we offer, and we can help them to access the services.
We've got a telephone number on the screen where you can call and get more information on everything we're talking about, and that is 855-487-7330, 855-487-7330, or you can go to ViaQuestHomeCare.com, ViaQuestHomeCare.com. You see that at the bottom of the screen. And by the way, as Mike and I were talking about that 855, that's a toll-free number.
It is a toll-free number.
This is a free call.
It is a free call. Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. How does your company empower people now? Does this give them more power to remain at home and provides something psychological, a psychological lift for them?
Most definitely. As I said earlier, one of our main focuses is to really educate people, and obviously knowledge equals power. And when people have an idea of the services that are available to them and how to access those services, it really empowers them to take control of their own health care. And that's really what the goal is.
We're seeing a lot of changes in the health care industry. I bet it's impacting ViaQuest.
It is indeed, but in a positive way. We are really reading the signs of the times, and we are looking at the way that the landscape is changing, and we're adjusting our programs, and we are really responding to those needs. So actually, we welcome the changes that are happening in healthcare.
Does Medicare pay for much of what we're talking about?
Yes, Medicare does pay for individuals to receive home care in their homes based on a certain criteria. And if someone calls our office or if someone goes to the web page, we would be more than happy to give them all the information that they need and to see if they are eligible.
Mike, we're going to see a lot more of this. We have a population. People are living longer now these days. We're in the 21st century, and people are living longer. One of the fastest growing groups in America is the group that's reached 100.
Definitely. Yeah, I hope I reach 100.
Me too.
Yeah,
And
I hope so.
It's not far away.
I know it isn't.
But are we going to see more of this kind of need for home health care?
I think so, because of the fact that really it saves the taxpayers, it saves everybody money to have someone receiving services in their home as opposed to having to be admitted to a long-term care facility or to a hospital. Now, obviously, there is a need for long-term care facilities and hospitals, but really there are so many services that used to have to be provided in a long-term care facility or a hospital that now can be provided in your home. I mean, technology is wonderful. And the things that we have now.
Where are you located? Where are you headquartered at right here for Northeast Ohio?
We are locally managed. Our owner lives here in the state of Ohio. My office is actually in the Middleburg Heights area, but we have nurses, we have therapists, we have social workers, we have staff members that are really spread out the entire Northeast division.
All of the many counties of Northeast Ohio.
Most definitely.
You can reach us all.
We sure can.
Yeah. Well, Mike Belusco is Regional Director of ViaQuest Home Care, and it's always good to ViaQuest Home Health Care. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you so
today.
much.
And the phone number is 855-487-7330. It is a toll-free number, or you can go to ViaQuestHomeCare.com for more information.
All right.
Good to see you, Mike.
Thank you.
Good to have you
Great
on the
to see you.
broadcast.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. In a moment, we will return. This is Kaleidoscope. We're going to be talking with people from Karamu, Terrence Spivey and Sherilyn Fairby, about their production, God's Trombone, after this. This is Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us today. Karamu House Theater. The 2011 season is underway at Karamu House, and Artistic Director Terrence Spivey and the Musical Director Sherilyn Fairby are here to tell us what's ahead for the season. Always good to have you here, Terrence Spivey.
Thank you. Pleasure being here, Leon.
You too, Sherilyn Fairby.
Thanks, Leon.
Musical Director over at Karamu House. I've known Sherilyn for years. For many, many years. We go back to childhood. Tell us about the season of 2011, what you're looking at.
Well, we're kicking off. We have a piece that had already closed called And Her Hair Went With Her. It was a big sellout, ended on February 20th. And we got coming up March 18th, God's Trombones by James Weldon Johnson.
What makes this production unique, God's Trombones?
Well, it's really not actually a play. It's a book of verses written by James Weldon Johnson, 7 verses. And Sherilyn and I actually put it together and turn it into a musical. So it's a spiritual jambalaya of all the elements that you will see in theater, in the arts.
I've got a little placard here that you brought, a post, and we'll get a shot of this. Sherilyn, tell me about your involvement in it. You're the musical director now. What's important to remember about God's Trombones at Karamu House?
Well, the most important thing is that it is God's Word.
Yes.
And all of the sermons, they come alive through the various preachers who are the 7 trombones. But the music pulls it all together, and we go from Genesis to Revelation, and a little bit of everything in between.
What do you think is the message of this play that looks at various biblical stories there? I know the prodigal son is there, and many other stories. What's the message of the play?
The message is that you can relate in your life, in your experiences, to what's going on in the production. You'll smile, you'll laugh, there'll be tears shed, you'll look and you go, Yes, so yes, it's being able to relate to what you're going through, what you have experienced. So.
You're proud of this, I know, Terrence. Now, how long is it going to be running at Karamu Theater, which, by the way, is located at Quincy Avenue and East 89th Street.
89th Street.
Right on the corner there.
Yes, right at the corner. We're running from March 18th to April 10th. And we also, before we go there for our regular run, we're touring the Akron Civic Theater March 5th, the 2,500-seat theater in Akron.
Oh, that's
invited to perform there. Someone saw the show in 2009 at Christmas, because at that time it took the place of Black Nativity.
So you're going to be there for one night?
For one night.
Akron, what night is that now?
That's March 5th. So it's what you call the whole cast is learning about bus and truck now that people would do when they go to the Playhouse Square.
Yeah.
So
what do you want people, and we wish you well with that in Akron and here in Cleveland, what do you want people to take away from with this production, this musical, God's Trombone?
Oh my goodness, it's very uplifting. It's very hopeful. The way today's crisis is going on right now, it's one of those pieces like Sherilyn mentioned, it's God's trombones, it's God's words. And there's a difference when you see theater and church. We have it every time we rehearse.
Right.
I mean, even the young people in the show, who most of them are part of Karamu House, they are getting that whole feel of what it's all about. So when they see that whole production and the audience, the community sees it, they also get a chance to see, wow, what Karamu can do, and they can take a story and turn it into a script and give it all these people chances to get a chance to perform.
It's a wonderful, wonderful production. I saw it last year, and I was just taken aback by the stories in the Bible. They came to life, and I remember very well the story of the prodigal son who ran off and did a lot of bad things, and then came home and was greeted by his father again. What do you keep in mind, Sherilyn, as the musical director? Music is vital to this production, correct?
It really is. And it has to be true. It has to be real. It needs to be meaningful. This is not, I say it over and over again, this is not just another production. This is an amazing spiritual experience for believers and non-believers. Oh, we've had some supernatural rehearsals. Unbelievable. I mean, healing, prayer, deliverance. We even had offered communion this past Sunday.
It touches the heart.
Oh, yes.
It touches the heart.
It does.
Now, what about tickets and all of those? Tickets are always available.
Always available. You can go to caramuhouse.org, and there's a website, and brownpapertickets.com. You could also call 795-7077 for tickets. And I must say that Sherilyn Fairby is just an amazing. She also teaches at Karamu House in the Cultural Arts program with Fia Dooley, who's a Cultural Arts director. And all these elements in the show are chances for the young people who have been learning at Karamu House to apply what they've learned on singing, dancing, acting. So it's one of the main stage productions that we've gotten a chance to use a lot of the young people at Karamu.
You have so many productions going on this year in the 2011 season, from foreclosure to From Breast Cancer to Broadway. Remember that one?
Oh, yes.
Black Nativity.
Black Nativity brought it back.
And her hair went with her.
And her hair went with her.
Ruined. And God's Trombones. That's a whole bunch of them. And by the way, the telephone number, we had it on the screen. Maybe we can slip it back up there. 216-795-7070. Right? 7077. 7077.
Yes.
7077. 795-7077. Correctly, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or go to caramuhouse.org for more information. We wish you well.
Thank you.
When the curtain goes up, everybody's ready.
Everybody's ready.
Making it happen. A little bit of theater. Terrence Spivey of Karamu House and Sherilyn Fairby of Karamu House.
Thanks,
Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you on stage. We'll see you in the music pit there. This is Newsnet5.com. We'll give you more information on everything we've been talking about on Kaleidoscope. Up next, we will talk about the annual Taste Latino Carnival area. Back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Glad to have you with us again today. The Westside Ecumenical Ministry hosts its annual Taste Latino Carnival on March the 3rd. It will benefit El Barrio And the director, Ingrid Angel, is here to talk more about the annual event held at Nighttown. Good to have you with us, Ingrid.
Thank you, Leon, for having us here.
Okay. Tell me, what is the mission of the West Side Ecumenical Ministry, WSEM, as it's oftentimes called?
Yes, WSEM has been in the community for the past 42 years, and our purpose is to help individuals move from assistance to self-sufficiency. And we do this through three different centers. We do it through food and hunger centers. We do it through early childhood education, mental health and behavioral issues, and the fourth center, which is El Barrio, workforce development.
And El Barrio means?
El Barrio literally means the neighborhood, but it is more of a sociological concept that means community. And that's what we're here for, to help the community.
And in any language, whether it is Spanish or English or anything, the community is all of us together.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Tell me about the El Barrio Workforce Development Center that you're involved in.
Yes, El Barrio last year alone helped more than 300 individuals find self-sustaining employment. That means we're impacting more than 300 families. And we do this through intensive case management, which means identifying the barriers that individuals have to finding employment. We do this through a pre-employment training. We do this through matchmaking. We have an enormous and committed, solid network of corporate partners that work with us tenaciously to help individuals in training them and finding them jobs. And when they do find a job, we don't leave them alone. We continue following up with them up to 6 months in making sure that they continue to be stable and satisfied and healthy.
And you deal with, you're on the west side, but you deal with people throughout the area.
Oh, yes, absolutely, throughout the county, actually.
Throughout Cuyahoga County. Where do you get your money to do this now?
Primarily, it's from governmental contracts. But we are looking for, we also have private foundations that help us, that have helped us throughout the years. And now we are having a growing source through our fundraiser, which is called Taste Latino. And this year we are holding it for the 3rd time with a very special and innovative theme, which is Carnaval.
Carnival.
Yes.
Now, where's Taste Latino Carnival going to be held this year, and when?
It's going to be held on Thursday, March 3rd at 6 o'clock at wonderful Nighttown, where Brendan always holds a great show, wonderful food. And the theme of Carnival has to do with not only the Mardi Gras that happens here in Louisiana and New Orleans, but it is also a celebration that happens in the Caribbean and South America. As we all know, Brazil has the biggest in Rio. But other countries, and this is less known, Puerto Rico has a very strong, very important carnival. Colombia, Venezuela, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, all of these countries celebrate their carnival, Mardi Gras. And we see it very according to these times, because carnival everywhere is letting go of the bad to bring in the good and the new.
And don't we need a lot of that?
And we need a lot of that, and it's happening. We see things turning around in Cleveland now, so we're happy about that.
Let me mention that it's going to, as Ingrid said, it's going to be at Nighttown, which is on Thursday, March the 3rd at 6 o'clock. And Nighttown is a wonderful little place in Cleveland Heights. It's at 12387 Cedar Road, 12387 Cedar Road in Cleveland Heights. It is at the top of the hill in in Cleveland Heights. As you come out of University Circle on the east side, you come to the top of the hill, and if you get lost, ask anybody, where is Nighttown? They'll tell you at the top of the hill.
Exactly.
It's a well-known place, and it's going to be and you've got some other things that are happening there. You got some events taking place.
Absolutely.
Got about a minute. Why don't you talk about some of the events taking place at Nighttown that day?
At Nighttown that night. Since we have the theme of Carnival, we're going to have samba dancers. We are going to have samba music. We're going to have live Latin music going on, and Brendan is coming up with a wonderful menu.
The owner of Nighttown.
Yeah, the owner of Nighttown, of Brazilian and Hispanic Latin cuisine, which he has always done a wonderful job of.
He does a wonderful job in everything he does, Brendan, there at Nighttown.
We are also having a raffle of a trip for 2 people to Toronto's Carnival in July, and all costs paid. Continental Airlines provided the tickets, and we're working on an arrangement for stay for 2 nights as well.
We've got a phone number on the screen. Can people
Yes.
call this to get ticket information?
Absolutely.
What are ticket costs?
Tickets cost $75 each, and it includes the food and all of the entertainment. And raffle tickets are three raffle tickets for $20.
And the phone number is 216-651-2037, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Or you can go to WSEM.org, which means Westside Ecumenical Ministry.org, WSEM.org, for more information on everything we're talking about. But we will see you at Nighttown Thursday, March 3rd. Starts at 6 o'clock. $75 tickets, music, food, good times, contests, smiles abound.
Correct.
Okay. Good to have you on the broadcast, Ingrid.
Thank you, Leon.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Ingrid Angel is director of the Westside Ecumenical Ministry, El Barrio. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leon.
We wish you well. My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm going to take a break. In a moment, we will talk to Marcia Maccabee, the president of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. But first, these words. One of our partners on the broadcast is the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, and its president is Marcia Maccabee, who always has a comment.
Hi, Leon. How are you today?
Okay, just fine.
You know, I usually try to keep a balance in trying to share with our viewers the CEO side and the community leader side. And every now and then I like to just share a little personal reflection. Over the last few weeks, as I've been named the president and CEO of the Urban League, I've been getting so many wonderful encouragements and accolades from the community. And I'll tell you, I found myself feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I wasn't quite sure what that was about because I've been doing the job for over 18 months. Yeah. And it really struck me that having the nomination and the vote from the board
as the permanent
CEO and accepting the job was actually my final submission to the complete servant leadership of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. And as I realized that, it just overwhelmed me. And as I was on my way in this morning, I always listen to gospel, and there was a song on, a gospel song that I love very much, that talks about I give myself away so that I can be used, and that my life is really not my own, and it's wrapped within this thing that I've been called to do. So I just wanted to share that with you today and with our viewers, that I'm just really humbled and thankful and willing to serve.
In our final 20 seconds, let me say, you see yourself as a servant, is what you're saying, even in your job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't we all? I see myself many ways as a servant, serving the people here in Northeast Ohio. This is what I do for a living, but I try to bring a servant's attitude toward it.
Yes, you do.
Right. Well, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for your inspirational words.
Thank you for allowing me.
I think you're going to be a minister or something.
I have a ministry, I know that.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.